Okay, we're going to have this talk again this morning on a Tuesday, August the 19th. Now, I have a question for you guys. I really do. I want to ask my black brothers and sisters, how bad will it have to become for you to take this election, the situation, seriously? Now, some of you are scared, and I know, and I try to come here not to give you a fear, because if you hear the information in fear, it's gonna make you not want to hear it. And I'm gonna be honest, I go through my emotions, especially what I'm dealing with. I go through it, I process it, and I don't look at it as something bad. I look at it as something that might be positive for me. Because see, everything bad ain't meant to be bad. Some things are meant to be a turning point in your life. You know, the other day, but last night rather, I saw a person interviewing a black man. Looked like he was he just had t-shirt on, wife beat on. And she said, what do you think about President Trump? He the man. He the only one that helping black folks. And he the man, and he this and he that. He the only president that's helping black folks. Lord. Ask another black man. Oh, he keeping it real. He keeping it real. He doing what he say he gonna do. He keeping it real. I started laughing. But then I had to step back. You know, their biggest tactic now, their new agenda is not to get, they know they lost the white votes. Yeah, the Puerto Ricans, it's without a doubt. They gone. They gone. It's like very few and far-fetched. But the black person, he hasn't hit yet. Now he's affecting the black woman, because most black women got kids and the SNAP benefits. Some are in Section 8, that's finna be affected. Some got children with disability, that's gonna be affected. Child care, luncheons, education, that's gonna be affected. And congratulations to one of my friends. She was a single mom, working by herself. And no, she didn't live in the ghetto when she did it. And she instilled in her what her mom and dad instilled in her. And as a result of that, her daughter is in college. And I want to tell you where your new job assignment is. Okay? But anyway, we got all these folks that's sitting here that's praising a man that's getting ready to send them to their demise. You know, it's like that Hurricane Aaron that they talking about. They saying that hurricane is unsurvivable. And many of us see the stuff that's coming down the pipeline. But, you know, you got these black folks. You got some black folks that say, you know what, I'm scared. I need to know what I need to do. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then you got some folks that says, you know what, I got faith in God, but I'm going to still stay in the path. I can't go nowhere. I got to stay in the path. And then you got some that stay there because, you know what, over the years, despite what the president did, it didn't affect them the way it's going to affect them now. And they don't think that the fat meat is greasy, and therefore they going to weigh it out. See, we don't teach. See, this is what I don't understand. It's easy for the black man. Did he interview the black woman? I never seen Trump supporters interview a black woman and say, hey, well, all these cuts that's coming down the way, why is it, are you afraid? Well, would you vote for Trump? No. But see, they getting the men, not because they're fathers. They are not getting the father figures or the fathers, the true providers. Now they getting these street thugs out here. Because you know what? I have yet to see a true responsible black man go get them gold tennis shoes, or better yet, can relate to him as a mugshot. See, I can't relate to that. See, or better yet, praise him while he's cutting benefits off that's gonna feed his kids. No, I don't see that. I see that. I see that. See, they praising him. This is a construction. And I'm going to tell you what, like I keep telling y'all keep saying, Samantha, no. People play an influence. Social media plays an influence on us today. I had one lady say, you lie. You need to accept responsibility. That is the truth. You ain't got to worship nobody, but social media plays a part in how we live our life today, to each a certain degree. Yeah. When I moved down here, when I lived in Memphis, going to an interview in Memphis meant that you had to wear a business casual. You wore some slacks. You wore some dress shoes. You wore a nice dress, a blouse. You didn't wear a lot of makeup. Your hair was a different way. You went in as if you were corporate America. That's how it is in Memphis. Here is different. You got receptionists. They got them nose things. You got receptionists. They got piercings all over the face. You got receptionists. They got blue and blonde and pink and purple hair, but they white. See, because they can get away with that. I have yet to see a black person with purple, green, yellow, orange hair in this city and have a job. A job where they're a receptionist or something like that. Now, and the way they was interviewing, because if you don't know, Trump has decided that he's going to end mail-in ballots, and he's going to try to get rid of the voting machines. And black folks are still saying, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Or better yet, they still got that slave mentality that says, you know what, I ain't voting for that person because, you know what, the last 3 women that was on there, they messed up the city. But you ain't looking at the 50 black men or men that messed up the city before them women got there. See, we women, we gotta be still hard. We still gotta go hard and grind. But he getting ready to cut out the voting machines. See, and you still think this election, the school board election, you still think all these elections don't matter because it don't matter. They already got somebody in. Well, if you think that way, then it is true. Then you might as well be prepared for your demise. I wonder why Trump don't never ask a black woman that's equal to a man that they call so-called ratchet. Why don't they ask a black woman that question? Hey, you finna get your stamps and stuff cut off your snap and everything. How you feel about Trump? Or better yet, we finna cut off your health care where you can't feed and take care of your kids and stuff and stuff. But how you feel about that? Yeah. I got a long driveway. I can walk it. One day we gonna walk it again. But we're so used to they're promoting the black man. Why? Because most black men in America majority of them are in jail. They're incarcerated. It could be your son. Today, the average black man has more than one child. that today the average black man has more children with multiple women. Instability. In most or the average black man don't have a job, don't have a education, a college education, a trade, don't, they're marketable material because of the simple reason they are cash bank for another entity. Two, to be exact. The cemetery, land, and the jails, which is overpopulated. Yeah. And what makes you think that it's gonna get any better under this regime? Seem like we the last ones that execute the memo. Everybody else is getting it, but we ain't. But back to that executive order to get rid of the mail order, ballots. And you said, Samantha, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I go and vote. I go in person and vote. And I'm glad you do. But see, this is where we get it. There are servicemen that's in the military. That's how they vote. There are people who got jobs out of the country that are at embassies and other countries, that living in other countries, and they still vote. You got citizens who move to another country and they still vote. But if you cut them off, you say, well, that ain't gonna matter. Yes, it is. That's over 4 million votes. 4 million. Because you got people in all branches of the military. You got folks who are living and working in other countries. Where you say, well, if they really wanted to vote, they should have stayed here. No, people got jobs that before this all happened, that they actually work in another country and they still vote in this election. Take away that. Taking away the military right to vote. That's some deep mess. But that ain't good enough. He already said he gonna cut the SNAP benefits next year. He messing with so many folks Social Security. He's getting ready to cut TANF. He's getting ready to cut health care. He's getting ready to dismantle Department of Justice. The dismantling Department of Education. The Department of Justice don't have a civil right. Now this is where, my friend, I'm getting ready to tell you, this is where your fight go. Because now you sent her to college, but now you gotta fight for her rights until she working in that college trying to get a degree. Woo! It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard being a mama. It's very hard. And it's worse and harder when you don't have a partner that's on board. But that's all right though. That's all right. See, it's okay for us when we didn't know better. We didn't do better. But now you know better. Don't get mad. And I'm going to tell you this. Since you're so worried about the immigrants coming over here, taking this money, doing all of this, have it ever occurred to you maybe they did some research on how to get this money? But you didn't. You didn't. Because they got financial aid to go to school. They got things for community grants. They got state grants. They got grants to help you with your house. They got grants for you to become a first-time home buyer. They got grants to get you there. Come on there. They got credit repair shops. Come on. What excuse, black people, do you have? You know what? Because you ain't did your homework. You're mad because somebody else is doing it. You're mad because you're looking at this person. Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him. He, I heard this and I heard that and he ain't. No, what you're doing is this right here. If they get in office and they not doing what you're supposed to do, Wanda Halbert. How did Wanda Halbert? That's a lady that's in Memphis. She over the Shelby County tags. Shelby County tags. I'm gonna give you an example of black not doing a research and hanging on a friendship. Black. She was a city council. Now, what she did at city council, you know what? It was all right. She worked at FedEx, left FedEx. They took that buyout, became a city council. She was city council for years. And she did pretty good work. She did. But then she ran for the county clerk for the tags. For the tags. And this is where it all came out. She got the job. And I guarantee you, something that takes 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I can go in there, pay tags. My tags 1 year was $5 because of the COVID, $5. Went there, paid that $5.25. It took me 15 minutes. I had signed, the only way it was 15 minutes because it was two people ahead of me. 15 minutes. Well, Wanda Halbert, yeah, you got to call. See, that's another thing. We don't want to call our friends and foes out. But I don't have a problem with that because you know what? If you can't tell somebody that they messing up, then you know what? Then that you don't need to be their friend no more. You can't tell somebody. If you ain't a true friend to call you and say, look here, I ain't finna get all into it, but I think you effing up. I think you effing up. Well, girl, I'm just gonna keep it real now. I'm gonna still be your friend, but you effing up. But anyway, she got in office, and shortly after that, lines to get your drive-out tag is yay long. Some of the folks ain't even in the office at the location. Come to find out, she wasn't paying the rent on the office building. Had it where you went to the main one and the line is long as cheese. People standing there for hours trying to get they tags for their car. She came up and she didn't really made up an excuse, but when she got elected again, you elected her again. Instead of somebody saying, Wanda, you know what, you my friend, but you effing up. No, they elected her again. This is the excuse y'all came up with. They came up with. They said, you know what? She just got that job. She just did this. Oh, she did. I tell you what, go on your job. Since all this stuff is going on, go on your job and don't show up for work. And go on your job and mess up the books. Halfway, if you're in there and you go in there, just do what you want to do. Mess up. If you're an accountant, stop accounting it right and start doing it, putting in fees and stuff like that you did and mess up the balance and you can't do math. And start doing that and see how long that company will fire you. That company will fire you real quick. But we don't want to get rid of our black politicians. And they messing up. And they selling us out. And they doing all this kind of stuff. But for your justification for that, I'm trying to stop because my little ear itching. To justify that candidate, you rather not vote. You rather harm yourself. Well, I'm not voting. I'ma show them I'm not voting. No, you showing yourself. You ain't hurting them. You hurting yourself. Because if they don't get in office, it's going to get worse. And if they do get in office and they doing it, it's worse. We give these politicians that ain't doing their job, you know, we give them that. We give them the benefit of the doubt when don't nobody give us no damn benefit of the doubt. And then you talk about now that Trump is getting ready to do try to get rid of the mail ballots. No, that's unconstitutional. And I think in so many states they're gonna start filing stuff to stop that, because that right there is a election rigging. But the point of the fact is that he's doing it. He's challenging our Constitution, and y'all keep giving him excuses why it is. You're not standing up. You ain't got to go out here and clown and protest if you don't want to do it. But it's time now that we stop thinking that, you know what, that stuff that goes on in this country don't affect us. That it don't affect us. So when you sit here and you talk about your community that's bad and stuff, you think about the fact that this man here is trying to cut the voting out. He's trying to cut it out so that you won't have an election. And you still think he's working on your behalf. Explain it. So that's what that needs to be known. How bad something got to get for the black person to say, you know what, I need to take a stand on this. I need to stand. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait for the storm to come to your house and then scream. Cause see, I'm gonna tell you something. Them folks that ain't voting, that's on Section 8, getting SNAP benefits and all this other stuff. See, right now they still getting it. They still getting it. They see the memo. They still getting it. They still going and doing all this stuff and going to clubs and taking pictures of stuff. They're not saving no money. Now, you know, they going to buy cars and they got to show you, see, you know, that's what messed them up. See, these black folks was coming on here, these Section 8 folks were coming on here with their designer purses and they lavish lifestyle, living off the taxpayer dime, and the Republicans said that's enough. But see, the Republicans, that's an isolated incident. Because the ones that I know that get SNAP benefits, they working. They trying to find a job. They trying to do better. They trying to put their kids to school. They trying to do this. Folks that live in housing, most of them are law-abiding citizens. They ain't bothering nobody. They ain't doing this. Their little house is neat and pretty and clean, and they appreciative of where they at. But see, you got a few bad folks that came on social media showing their criminal activity, and the Republicans got hold of it. That's what's in that big beautiful bill. That's what's in it. So when you sit here, when you black men, I'm finna close this out because I gotta go to a doctor's appointment today. You ghetto black men, you setting yourself up for the kill. Because you sitting here praising a thug. You got to remember something. That thug got money. You the lower level of the thug. Where you think you going? When he finished taking away all these rights and stuff, you sitting up here thinking you thugnificent. He got money. They protect him from going to jail. You gonna have a choice. You gonna have some choices, and it ain't gonna be what you like. They're going to put you on a field like they did a long time ago in Shelby County. It's a jail called the Penal Farm. They used to work them inmates from sun up to sundown. That's where they finna put y'all at, on them fields and stuff. They not finna sit here and let you gang bang and why you think they trying to use it on that Garcia man? Because they finna use it on you. You gang banging all y'all gang affiliates and stuff. You thinking that he ain't finna come after you because you're an American citizen? Please. That's why they shouldn't. That's why they picking these street beetles to sit here and brag about Trump, because he think half of y'all can't vote because you're felons, and the other half, you don't even know how to vote. You don't even know how to vote. If you gonna But you got to realize something, that when he get through taking away you street hoods, when he finish taking away all these benefits that your children, that you've been breeding for decades, or for years, all these baby mamas you got, when he cut her off, he coming to looking for you. And he gonna make you pay. And you gonna have to go get a job to take care of all them kids. And he gonna put you in the field and make you work. Now you say, no, he ain't gonna do that. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you something. Be black and keep living. We ain't sounding no alarm to make you afraid. We ain't trying to sound no alarm for you to sit here and say, vote for Kamala. No, Kamala got money. You don't. Kamala's all right. Her husband taking care of her. Some of us, we all right. Some of us, God gonna protect us. Some of us, we preparing. But you, on the other hand, you slow people, or the folks who sitting up here still with their slave mentality, talking about how you ain't gonna vote for somebody because of your personal, and if they ain't shown you their record, if they show you that they got a plan, not a concept, if they show you that they can do the job, if you see they can do the job, vote for them. Right now, the Democratic ticket, not the party, is trying to get in to save your freaking rights, you. And the sad part about it is you Jim Crow Negroes still think that this white man got your best interest at heart. Don't nobody owe no black person in America. We are Americans, and I'm so tired of black folks feeling like a black president or a president got to come in and promise them something. We ain't never been promised nothing. And we have made it on nobody's promise. We made it on our own ability, our own rights, our own dignity. Stop sitting up here asking somebody to promise you that they gotta fix something for you. Ain't nobody never fixed nothing for me. And I don't expect them to do it. But when they come out with something, a program that I don't care if it came out for white folks, I still use it. If they came out with something that's going to benefit my family, I still use it. If they doing something to save me so I can eat, so I can pay my house note when I can't afford it, or something is wrong, I have a hard time when I'm able to get Social Security, like right now. When they sit here and they trying to dismantle, these folks are trying to stop something from happening. Stop sitting up here thinking that somebody owe you something, that they owe you, the black people, that they do stuff for America. And it's up to your black ass to research it and find it, even if it ain't meant for black folks. It's a program out there for you, but most programs were designed for black people. You just too dumb and stupid to go do your research and find out.